Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10. Additionally, from December 12th, 2019 through January 27th, 2020, if you use this promo code, you will automatically be entered into a drawing to win a Theros Beyond Death Draft Booster Box. Also, there is another way to enter where no purchase is necessary. See the link in the description below for full details. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to another edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. It is Theros Beyond Death pre-release weekend. I hope you have a chance to go out there and play a few games. And if you're at the game store, you might think about picking up some cards. So we got you covered if you're curious as to what's going on in the market right now. And spoiler alert, there's quite a bit. A lot of cards going up in value this week. Quick reminder before we get started though, FlipsideGaming.com, if you go over there, you can use the Heroes promo code to save 10% on orders over $10. And right now, they do have Theros Beyond Death singles up on the website, so if you're looking to pick up some of the cards, check it out. You might be able to save some cash with the promo code, and whenever you use the code, it supports the channel, which is always appreciated. So thank you, and without any further ado, let's get into it. We'll begin, as we always do, with Standard and your top 13 Standard legal cards that have lost value this week. Now, in this video, we're not going to talk about Theros Beyond Death cards. We did a special video on those yesterday. I'll link it at the end in case you missed it. And I will continue to do special videos on those until the prices start to stabilize. Coming in at number 13 is Godless Shrine. This is the one from Ravnica Allegiance. It goes down 33 cents to $8.23. So a couple things going on right now with the shock lands. One, with Theros coming into Standard, they are a little softer right now, as many players are thinking about monocolor devotion strategies. Secondly, 4 of them had additional copies of their Guilds of Ravnica block variations distributed in Brawl decks, which you might have noticed are getting easier to get a hold of. And this is one of those. You can find this one in Knight's Charge. Now, aside from all that, in the long term, these are always going to be good lands to have. Not only will they continue to be a big part of mana bases in Standard, but they also see play in Pioneer and Modern and will going forward. Number 12 is Vivian Arcbow Ranger, down 34 cents to $14.72. Some of the more expensive Standard cards are soft right now because until people really see what the new meta is going to look like, they don't want to necessarily spend a lot of money on an individual card. So cards like this are losing some value, at least currently, although I do think this could be a very good card next season. Obviously, look at the casting cost, could fit into a Green Devotion deck perhaps. The power level is definitely there. And this does see Pioneer play as well, although it's not seeing as much Pioneer play as it was seeing a few weeks ago. You can still find it in some decks though, like Mono Green Devotion, Hardened Scales builds, Bant Company, and more. Number 11 is another Shockland, Watery Grave from Gatecrash this time. It goes down 38 cents to $11.92. And this one can be found in the Fairy Schemes Brawl deck. Number 10 is Leyline of the Void. This is the one from Magic 2011. It goes down 41 cents to $12.16. Even though this copy is soft this week, I do think this card is going to see increased Standard play next season. It's going to be a good sideboard card if you have to deal with Escape or other graveyard strategies. Also, if I'm playing Mono Black Devotion, I might want this in my main deck. Aside from Standard, this already is a good sideboard card in Pioneer, Modern, Legacy, and even Vintage. Number 9 is another Shockland, Sacred Foundry. This is the one from Ravnica City of Guilds. It goes down 42 cents to $15.68. This one cannot be found in a Brawl deck. Number 8, though, is a card that you can only find in a Brawl deck, in the Wild Bounty deck to be specific. This is Steelbane Hydra, going down 44 cents to $2.49. Great commander card in those Gargos Vicious Watcher builds, and that's why this card started to build some value. But now that it is easier to get a hold of the Brawl decks, it is coming down. Number 7 is the commander of that Wild Bounty Brawl deck. It's Chulainn, Teller of Tales, down 46 cents to $5.32 this week. Now, this is not the foil copy that you find in the Brawl decks. This is the non-foil that you would find in collector boosters. But regardless, all the copies are going down because more foil copies are getting out there into players' hands. This is a good commander card and has even seen some Standard play. Number 6 is Brazen Borrower, down 47 cents to $25.50. This is a card that's suffering from the price tag issue that people don't want to buy into it right now. But I'm pretty confident this is going to see a lot of play in next season's Standard. Right off the bat, I think Simic Flash decks are still going to be good. You know you're going to see this there. Plus, I'm sure it's going to be in other places. Beyond that, this is seeing a lot of Pioneer play. You'll find this in Is It Phoenix, which is doing really well right now, as well as Spirits builds. And on top of that, it's seeing a ton of Legacy play and some Vintage play too. Number 5, Teferi Time Raveler, down 50 cents to $19.28. Another card that people are a little shy to invest in right now for Standard purposes, but I'm sure it's going to see play. Sees play in Pioneer and Azorius Control, and Niv to Light, which was very popular this week. More on that later in the video, and other decks too. Also sees Modern, Legacy, and Vintage play as well. Number 4, Vraska Golgari Queen, down 56 cents to 15.56. So this could be going down because Oko Thief of Crowns was banned in Modern this week. And this was a card that was actually seeing some Modern play in response to Oko. Although, I do think it could still see play in that format going forward, at least to some degree. It has continued to see at least a little Pioneer play ever since that format lost Oko. And another reason this could be soft is simply because it does have a high price tag for standard players right now. Ultimately, though, I'm pretty sure this will see play next season too. Number 3 is Gorvold, Faker's King. This goes down $1.04 to 17.53. You'll find this in the Savage Hunter Brawl deck. Yet again, this is not the foil copy, though, from that deck. This is the non-foil you'll find in collector boosters. This has seen a ton of Commander play since it came out, and it has seen some play in Standard and Jund Sacrifice, which could still be a good deck next season. Of course, the reason it is going down is because the Savage Hunter Brawl decks are easier to get a hold of now as more copies have entered the marketplace. Number 2 is Bartisan Bats. It goes down $1.17 to 49 cents. This is the Core Set 2020 copy of the card, which can only be found in the Black Welcome deck. There are 2 copies in there, but as you know, the Welcome decks are given out to players who are new to Magic at game stores so they can learn the game. Because of that, there's not a lot of people breaking those decks up to sell singles online, which is why some of these have had weird price turns. At least this one's going down. Number 1, another original Shockland, this one from Dissension. This is Hallowed Fountain, down $1.39 to 25.84. Always good to keep track of what the original printings of cards are doing because they could be an indication of what other copies could be doing in the future. And in this case, this one is losing value, partially because it is in the Wild Bounty Brawl deck. Okay, on to the top 10 standard legal cards that have gained value this week. Number 10 is Cavalier of Thorns, up 45 cents to 12.69. This could have a very good standard season. It does have 3 on color for Green Devotion, and it does play well with Escape too. It has been seeing a lot of Pioneer play recently as well because the mono green ramp deck that this is in has been very popular, and it's in some other decks there too. Number 9 is Woodland Mystic from Core Set 2020, going up 51 cents to 3.32. This one is in the green Welcome deck. You can only find 1 copy there, and that's the only place you can get this card. This is actually a unique Welcome deck card. Number 8 is an original Shockland from Dissension. It's Blood Crypt. It goes up 53 cents to 24.30. And there's a good chance a lot of people are thinking about Rakdos or just aggressive decks in general going into the standard season. Many times those decks do start the season off pretty strong. Number 7 is Embercleave. It goes up 54 cents to 13.61. So this is a pretty hefty price tag for a standard card, but it's going up in value. Maybe it's because standard players are a little more willing to pick up a card like this going into the next season because it is an aggressive card. But I think the big reason this is going up this week is because of Pioneer. The big red deck had a fantastic week. Almost a little too good. Maybe something will get banned going forward. I don't know. But at least they're not doing those every Monday bans anymore. With that being said, though, that deck usually runs about 1 copy of this. This also sees play in other decks in that format. Mono Red Aggro, Gruul Aggro, and others. Number 6 is Divine Visitation, up 58 cents to $8. Is this the standard season? Will it finally happen? Will this card break through? Maybe. There are some new cards coming from Theros Beyond Death that could help it. One that comes to mind, Elspeth's Son's Nemesis. I have seen some early brews with it. Regardless, though, Divine Visitation will always be a fantastic commander card. Maybe you want to play it with Shielded by Faith, which we saw on the video last week, and one of the new cards, Siona, Captain of the Pyleas. Feels like that could be a fun combo. Number 5 is Steam Vents, the original copy from Guild Pact. It goes up 65 cents to 22.17, and I do think this one's moving because of Pioneer. Couple of really big decks right now in Izzet colors in the format. Izzet and Sol and Izzet Phoenix are both doing really well. Number 4 is Leyline of the Void. This one's going up though. This is the original Guild Pact one. It goes up 72 cents to $20.78. Number 3, even with Oko leaving another format, Breeding Pool is going up in value. Gatecrash up 70 cents to $20.78. Dissension up $1.06 to $28.99. When it comes to standard, I mean, Simic Flash is definitely going to continue to be a deck, so there could be some people trying to buy into that if they don't want to try to pick up as many of the new cards. Also, I'm sure other decks will be playing it. In Pioneer, you're going to find this in Bant Spirits builds, as well as Lotus Storm, which has been pretty popular recently, too. Number 2, Lazav the Multifarious goes up $3.28 to $6.29. A couple of reasons this one's moving. One is Pioneer. The Kethis combo deck is gaining momentum there. This is a key part of it. When it comes to standard, I do think it could see some play this season. Theros Beyond Death and the Dimir colors is bringing some self-mill strategies. Maybe this will work into some of those. And also, this does play well with the Titans, Kroxa Titan of Death's Hunger and Euro Titan of Nature's Wrath. Number 1 is Niv Mizzet Reborn. It goes up $3.53 to $6.95 this week. And this card started to creep up a little bit back when Kaleidoscope Killers was released. The Dragon was reprinted there, and some people were just trying to build some Dragon Commander decks. But that's not really why you're seeing the jump right now. This is moving because of Pioneer, specifically Niv to Light. That deck really had a huge week. Speaking of Pioneer, let's go on to the top 7 Pioneer legal cards that have lost value this week. Number 7 is Voice of Resurgence from Dragon's Maze. It goes down 60 cents to $12.90 this week. And this did spike for a couple reasons not too long ago. One was the Primal Genesis Commander 2019 deck. When that came out, this was a good upgrade for it. And secondly was the announcement of the Pioneer format. A lot of people thought maybe this could do well there. And it's doing okay. I mean, it does see a little play in Bat Company and Selesnya tokens, but those decks are not your dominant decks, at least right now. Maybe that could change, but if something doesn't change soon, this is going to lose a lot more value, I think. This does also see a tad bit of modern play, though. Number 6 is Gideon Ally of Zendikar, down 64 cents to $16.10. Very similar story here. This card spiked recently because of the Knights Charge Brawl deck. A lot of people are trying to turn that into a commander deck, and they added this. Also, with the Pioneer format, a lot of people just thought this is going to be a good card, and it actually has been pretty good, but it has seen less play over the last few weeks as the meta evolved. You will find this, though, in Boros Knights, White Weenie, Selesnya tokens. This also sees modern and legacy play. Number 5 is Shivan Reef. This is the one from Apocalypse, the original. It goes down 75 cents to $9.75. Not too long ago, a lot of these original Apocalypse Pain lands all just jumped up in price again because of Pioneer. They've been retracting now. What happens is they dry up in the marketplace quickly because all of a sudden there's higher demand. And then once they dry up and the price goes up, people start to realize, wait a minute, I have copies in my collection. I'm going to trade them, sell them to the store. Stores have them in inventory but didn't bother to put them online for sale. They go ahead and do that. Next thing you know, the prices stabilize back down. Now, a card like this is not going to go back down to where it was because it is a big part of the Pioneer mana base right now, and also even see some modern play, but it will continue to come down, I think, a little more before it stabilizes. Number 4 is Jace Vryn's Prodigy, down $1.14 to $31.33. He's back again, and I say it every week. He's seeing a little Pioneer play, but not enough to hold this value. This card spiked dramatically when Pioneer was announced. There was really some high hopes for it. Hasn't really panned out, at least not yet. Number 3, Thoughtseize from Iconic Masters. This goes down $1.45 to $31.63. This card has been spiking pretty heavily, so again, you're seeing some retraction here, but it is seeing a ton of Pioneer play. Mono Black Aggro, Golgari Soulflayer, Mono Black Vampires, Dredgeless Dredge, and other decks there. Also, you know it's a modern staple, and it's a huge legacy card as well. Number 2, Nicol Bolas the Ravager, down $1.51 to $29.99. And much like Jace Vryn's Prodigy, this card needs to find its home in the Pioneer format. It's kicking around in some Griskus builds, but not really doing enough in Pioneer to warrant this price tag. Now, this card spiked pretty aggressively recently, not as much because of Pioneer as because of Commander, back when the Kaleidoscope Killers came out, and again, that Dragon reprint got some people thinking about building Dragon decks. Ultimately, it needs to do something in Pioneer or it's going to lose a lot of value. Number 1, Yavimaya Coast from Apocalypse. It goes down 408 to 859. Now, partially, sure, this is still retraction from the big spikes that it saw earlier, but there's more at play here. Oko Thief of Crowns was banned in Pioneer not too long ago. That did shift the meta away from these colors a little bit. And the banning of Oko in Modern actually is impacting this too, believe it or not. This card was seeing some Modern play because Simic was so prevalent. Without Oko there, though, I don't really think this is going to show up all that much in the format. On to the top 5 Pioneer legal cards that have gained value this week. Coming in at number 5 is Ronas the Indomitable. It goes up $3 to $16.99, and this is in a few decks in Pioneer, but 2 really big ones that had solid weeks, Golgari Soulflayer and Mono Green Stompy. Number 4, Goblin Rabblemaster. This card has been hot recently. Magic 2015 up $2.97 to $12.93. Dual decks, Merfolk vs. Goblins up $3.04 to $12.21. There's a few drivers for this. The first one is Commander. More players are playing Goblin decks because of explosion sounds. Also, as you know, this card does see some Modern and Legacy play too, but really, the main reason it's been going up in value these last few weeks is because of Pioneer. This is in some decks like Rakdos Midrange, Mono Red Aggro. They both have been doing well, but this week it was all about Big Red, and yes, this is in the Big Red deck too. That deck performed extremely well. You're seeing a lot of copies of it right now on Magic Online. Number 3 is Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. It goes up $4.34 to $35 for a few reasons. Pioneer is one of them. It's in a few decks there, but most notably right now, Mono Green Ramp, which has been very successful. Modern, it's in a few decks there too, but again, most notably Tron. And I do think now that Oko is gone, more people will start to creep back towards the old favorites. This also sees Legacy play and a lot of Commander play. Number 2 is Mox Amber, jumping up $5.50 this week to $22.43, partially because of Pioneer. Kethis combo, like I said earlier, is gaining some momentum. Also, now that Oko and Mox Opal are banned in Modern, this could see more play there, and this has been seeing more Commander play since Emery came out as well. Number 1 is Ugin the Spirit Dragon, up $5.58 to $66. In Pioneer, you're going to find this in Mono Green Ramp, also in the sideboards of Lotus Storm, and other decks in the format too. In Modern, this is in Tron, and as we said, maybe more people might start playing Tron again there. Legacy, you'll find this in post builds, which are pretty popular, and it's also a huge Commander card. Alright, on to the top 5 Modern legal cards that have lost value this week. So it's been a big week for Modern. There's been 3 huge bannings, Mox Opal, Oko Thief of Crowns, and Mycosynth, and that's really going to change the meta going forward. Like I said earlier, some people might gravitate back to older decks. There's also some newer decks that are already performing pretty well. Because of these changes, there's a lot more life in the Modern market this week, as you'll see. Number 5, though, Scalding Tarn from Modern Masters 2017. It goes down $1.98 to $74.12. Fetches remain soft for the most part, but it's still in a lot of big decks. Grixis, Death Shadow, Dredge, Gift Storm, and more. Sees Legacy and Vintage play too. Number 4, Ensnaring Bridge from 8th edition. This goes down $2.39 to $40.92. Percentage play has been down on this over the last few months, but we'll have to see if that changes now with the meta shift. This also does see some Legacy and Vintage play too, but unless something changes in the world of Modern, I think this will continue to lose some value. Number 3 is Sen Triplets, continuing to go down after some very aggressive spikes. This is down $2.65 this week to $61.48. This has always been a very popular Commander card, but recently it got a lot of exposure through game nights as well as the Command Zone podcast. Now it's trying to come down to find its new price point. Number 2 is Jace the Mind Sculptor, the more expensive world-weight copy. It goes down $2.97 to $111.18. Now, this card has been losing a lot of value recently because of the nature of the meta. First off, these Jaces spiked pretty aggressively back when Stoneforge Mystic was unbanned. Then everything calmed down and it started to go back down. And on top of that, Oko shows up, changing the meta, taking some people away from Jace, making the card a little less desirable overall. And it actually lost a lot of value before all was said and done. Now with Oko leaving, does that mean Jace will rebound? I think most likely, but we'll have to kind of see where the meta goes. This also sees play in Legacy, Vintage, and Commander 2. Number 1, Tezzeret Agent of Bolas. This card is losing some value with the meta shifting. Mox Opal leaving the format definitely hurts this card's prospects. It goes down $3.09 this week to $12.62. Alright, on to the top 5 Modern legal cards that have gained value this week. Coming in at number 5 is a card we have not seen on this list in a while. Liliana of the Val from Innistrad. This goes up $2.32 to $66.29. And just another indication that people are thinking about going back to some old decks now that the meta is going to restructure itself. This is in Jund and other decks in the format. Also sees Legacy play too in 4-color loam. Number 4, there's Jace the Mind Sculptor, actually going up in price. This is the Eternal Masters copy, which got quite low. It goes up $2.84 now to $104.99. Number 3, Geralf's Messenger, goes up $2.97 to $8.77. Why is this? Well, because of a Modern deck that is actually newer, but performing very well. Golgari Yawgmoth, and this won't be the last card from that deck on the list. Number 2, though, you do have to have a Commander card on here, right? Bloom Tender, it goes up $3.03 to $55.05. This went down a little bit recently because it was reprinted in Mystery Boosters, but it's already bouncing back. And also, as you know, I'm going to use my one per video. This, of course, being from Eventide means the print runs were a little bit lower. There was a recession in the game during that time, and because of that, these cards are harder to find in good condition sometimes, and when they're sought after, they tend to spike. Number 1, here's the other card from Golgari Yawgmoth, and that is Yawgmoth himself. Yawgmoth Thran Physician goes up $7.91 to $19.75. Also a very good Commander card too. Alright, time for the Vintage Spotlight. This is where we talk about cards that see play in Legacy, Vintage, 93, 94, or cards that are just popular among collectors. First, we're going to welcome 3 cards to the Vintage Spotlight that usually would be in other places in the video. The first one, Oko Thief of Crowns, this goes down $5.41 to $24. The second one, Mycosynth, Darksteel, goes down $4.22 to $48.58. Battlebond down $6.24 to $43.49. And the third one, Mox Opal, Scars of Mirrodin, down $8.48 to $83.25. Modern Masters 2015 down $11.14 to $82.97. So just a couple things about these cards. As you know, these 3 cards were banned in Modern this week. They still see play in Commander, actually a lot of play in Commander. They're still going to see play in Legacy and Vintage, but because of the bannings, they're losing value quickly. Which means if you want to get a hold of these cards, I would definitely shop around because people are cutting prices pretty dramatically and they're worried about getting stuck with inventory. So the prices you see here, these are average prices. You can find them a lot lower right now if you shop around. So don't pay $80 for a Mox Opal right now. I actually think you can do much better out there. Okay, on to cards that are going up in value. A lot of revised dual lands again this week. Tundra, of course, on the reserve list. It goes up 243 to 272.90. Here's another one. Scrubland from revised on the reserve list. Goes up 262 to 149.99. Crow Mox is here. Eternal Master is up $1.36 to 49.54. Mirrodin goes up 329 to 43.21. And this is a great legacy and commander card. Carpet of Flowers from Urza Saga. It goes up 342 to 24.20. This is a great legacy sideboard card. It was recently reprinted in mystery boosters, but it was also featured on the Command Zone podcast a few weeks ago because it's a good commander card too. Ever since then, it's been pretty hot. Gaia's Cradle. This goes up 382 to 335.62. This is on the reserve list, but it did get a reprinting as a Judge promo in foil before they closed that loophole on the reserve list. This is a fantastic legacy card in Maverick, Sultai Zenith Oko, Elves, and Bant Midrange Depths. Also, you know it's an awesome commander card if you're lucky enough to have one of them. And now it could be a better commander card with Nyx Bloom Ancient coming into the format from Theros Beyond Death. Here's another revised dual land on the reserve list. Tropical Island goes up 388 to 287.99. Mana Crypt. This is the one from Eternal Masters. It did get a reprinting in Mystery Boosters, which brought it down a little bit, but now it's climbing back up. It goes up this week 398 to 203.97. Great vintage card, great commander card. Volcanic Island from revised on the reserve list. It goes up 408 to 454.36. Plateau from revised on the reserve list, going up 475 to 125.02. Mana Drain from Legends goes up 1428 to 185.34. Another great vintage and commander card here. Retrofitter Foundry, what? Up 1481 to 1999. Okay, so this is a good commander card, but the main reason it's moving this week is Legacy. There's a newer Ninja deck out there that runs 4 copies of this that is performing pretty well. Now, the main reason you're seeing such an abrupt spike, though, is because there was not a lot of demand for this card previously. There was some from Commander players, but now with the new demand, the market dried up extremely quickly. Remember, this card is yet to be reprinted. It's from Commander 2018, a supplemental product. But there are a lot of copies out there, and as soon as people see the spike, I expect more copies to enter the marketplace, and this will calm back down. But it won't go back down to where it was prior to the spike. Island of Walk Walk. This is on the reserve list from Arabian Nights. It goes up $20.27 to $140.99. It's actually also a pretty good 93-94 card. Time Twister from Unlimited, of course, on the reserve list. It goes up $1,302.50 to $6,500. As you know, if you watch these videos, unfortunately, when it comes to some of these really hard to find cards in good condition that are super sought after and expensive, there's not a lot of sales in any given week, which means we don't always have the best data to go by. So we have to kind of look at what people are asking for when it comes to prices, as opposed to sales, because some weeks there's actually just no sales out there. In this case, you're seeing a jump that's created by exaggerated listings. The card did not really jump this much this week. If you're trying to buy a lightly played copy of the card, I would expect to pay closer to $3,600, not $6,500. And Black Lotus from Unlimited on the reserve list, kind of going through the same thing. It goes up $4,550.03 to $17,224.99. But again, it is because of an extreme listing out there. The actual value, if you're trying to buy a lightly played copy, is closer to $9,000. Okay, on to the Commander Spotlight. A lot of cards, so let's get right into it. Force of Negation goes up $1 to $31.92. Now, granted, this could be moving because of the modern, legacy, or vintage play it sees. However, it is a good commander card and has seen increased play with Elsha of the Infinite recently. Mana Vault. This is the one from 5th edition. It goes up $1.02 to $28.39. Good vintage card, good commander card, of course. I think this particular copy is just drying up a little bit this week. Coat of Arms from 10th edition. Another case where this particular copy is drying up a little bit. It goes up $1.05 to $9.14. Great commander card for tribal builds, especially for slivers. And as you know, Sliver Overlord was recently reprinted in Kaleidoscope Killers, which could be driving this a little bit. Greater Oromancy from Shadowmoor, so I won't say it again, but from that time period, up $1.09 to $31.75. And of course, there's more interest in this card right now because of Theros Beyond Death with the new enchantments and enchantment creatures that are coming. Knight of the White Orchid, this is the original Shards of Allura copy. It goes up $1.21 to $7.44. Now, this is probably going up mostly because of Pioneer right now. It's in Boros Knights and White Weenie. However, this has also been a popular commander card recently too because of Sir Gwyn, Hero of Ashval. Mutavault Morning Tide goes up $1.03 to $23.37. Magic 2014 up $1.21 to $20.60. Fantastic commander card. However, again, I think this might be moving more because of Pioneer. You're going to find this in Big Red, which I said had a huge week. Also in Mono Black Aggro, is it in Soul, Mono Black Vampire, Spirit builds. See some modern play too. The Get Rock Monster, a lot of people's favorite, goes up $1.22 to $9.76. Even a Mystery Booster reprint can't keep this card down, as you can see. So this did get a Command Zone mention this week, which could have brought some more attention to it. But also, this is seeing play in Commander now with some of the new Theros Beyond Death cards. One is Nyx Bloom Ancient, which we saw earlier. Another one is Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Bramaz, King of Oreskos, goes up $1.25 to $12.49. A lot of people disappointed we did not see this character in Theros Beyond Death. But there are some cards from that set that it's going to play pretty well with in Commander. Those include Daxos Blessed by the Sun and Bronzehide Lion. Also, Bramaz got a push recently from Commander players that picked up OMG Kitties. Craterhoof Behemoth is next. Avacyn Restored up $1.04 to $36.51. Modern Masters 2017 up $1.28 to $38.26. Huge Commander card, recently got a boost because Reese the Redeemed, its partner in crime, was reprinted in Mystery Boosters. But also, this is a great Green Devotion card, which is part of the reason it's going up now. Also does see Legacy play in Sultai Zenith Oko and Elves. Alurin, this is on the reserve list. It goes up $1.33 to $34.99. This sees a little Legacy play, but it has seen more Commander play recently with Chulainn Teller of Tales. Eldrazi Conscription from Rise of the Eldrazi back on the list today. Goes up $1.34 to $9.99. Really awesome Commander card that got hot recently because of a card from Theros Beyond Death, and that is Storm Herald. Exquisite Blood goes up $1.35 to $28.77. Big Commander card. This saw more play recently with Carrick Son of Yawgmoth, and now with the new cards coming from Theros Beyond Death, I do think it will continue to see increased play. A lot of folks are already putting it in their deck with Erebos Bleak-Hearted. Omnith Locus of Mana goes up $1.36 to $21.39. This is a big Commander card regardless, but it is getting a push from Nyx Bloom Ancient as well. Mana Reflection, another really solid Commander card and yet another Shadowmoor card, and this is another card that is gaining momentum partially because of Nyx Bloom Ancient. It goes up $1.46 to $32.73. Nykthos Shrine to Nyx goes up $1.48 to $22.22. So there's a lot happening with this card. It did get a Command Zone mention this week, so that's part of it. Also, it was already a great Commander card, but now with Theros Beyond Death coming out, I would expect it to see more play with some of the Devotion cards there. But I do think one of the key drivers for this week is Pioneer. It's in a lot of big decks there right now. Mono Black Vampires, Mono Green Stompy, and Devotion builds, Mono Blue Devotion, and more. Sword of Light and Shadow from Modern Masters goes up $1.48 to $51.28. Now this does see Legacy play and some Modern play, but it is a great Commander card and has seen increased play recently with Sir Gwyn, Hero of Ashval. Basically, a lot of equipment works well with those knights. Force of Will, the original from Alliances, this goes up $1.52 to $87.37. Great Legacy, Vintage, and Commander card. Demonic Consultation is continuing to be hot, up $1.65 to $6.75. And this is getting a push by some Theros Beyond Death cards. Nylea Keen-Eyed is one example, but the big one is Thassa's Oracle. A lot of folks are building those self-mill decks now with Thassa's Oracle, Laboratory Maniac, and Jace Wielder of Mysteries. Vampiric Tutor, great vintage card, great Commander card. You know tutors are always going to be awesome in Commander. Eternal Masters up $1.66 to $76.92. 6th edition up $1.70 to $65.54. Mystical Tutor, here's another one. This is the 6th edition copy. It goes up $1.71 to $10.58. Cloudstone Curio, another big Commander card that has seen increased play because of Chulainn Teller of Tales recently. It goes up $1.74 to $26.24. Lyra Dawnbringer, this goes up $1.75 to $9.32. Great in those Angel builds, but also has seen increased play in Commander recently with Kalia Zenith Seeker. This additionally has seen some Pioneer play in sideboards of Azorius control decks, and has seen some other play in the format too. Expropriate, you know it, you love it. Huge Commander card. It goes up $2.11 to $43.02. This did get a Mystery Booster reprint recently, which did bring the price down at least a little for a while, but it is already bouncing back. Personal Tutor, another tutor here. This one from Portal though, so it's getting harder and harder to find in good condition. It goes up $2.24 to $23.85. Phyrexian Altar, this is the one from Invasion. It goes up $2.31 to $25.46. This is in a ton of different Commander decks, but it has also seen increased play recently because of Korvold Faker's King. Transmute Artifact, this is on the reserve list. It goes up $2.90 to $139.95. Classic Commander card and has seen more play recently with Emery and Urza around. Paradigm Shift, on the hardest part of the ring. This is on the reserve list. It goes up $3.89 to $6.95, and you can probably guess why this is hot right now. Yes, those self-mill decks will want this if you're playing with Thassa's Oracle, Jace Wielder Mysteries, Laboratory Maniac, etc. Alright, on to the Pauper Spotlight. Deprive still going up in value, up 15 cents to 202 this week. You'll find this in Scred Fairies, Dimir Delver, Mono Blue Tempo, Dimir Control, and more in the Pauper format. It sees some modern play too. And also the professor from Tolarian Community College mentioned this in a video this week. He was showing a Pauper Rat deck, actually. Could have brought some attention to this as well. Expedition Map. Zendikar goes up 14 cents to 441. Modern Masters 2015 up 18 cents to 469. You're going to find this in Pauper Tron builds. Also sees Modern and Legacy play too, and it's a huge commander card. It's been a while, but here it is, the Black Lotus of Pauper, Oubliette. Two variations to talk about, both from Arabian Nights. Arabian Nights A, that's the copy that has the lighter casting cost, a little bit harder to read. It goes up $1.11 to $29.98. Arabian Nights B, which is the one you see on the screen, goes up $1.40 to $31.17. This is played in Pauper Mono Black control builds. Okay, on to our premium spotlight. I don't like to talk too much about cards that are hard to find in the marketplace online, things like your foils or rare promos, because much like I was discussing with some of those vintage cards, sometimes you don't get the best data. But I do try to pick out at least one card each week that does feel like it's moving naturally with the market. This week I went with Yawgmoth Thran Physician. The foil copy is going up $10.40 this week to $77.98. Alright, that concludes the Market Watch for this week. Hey, let me know in the comments below how your pre-release weekend has been going. I realize that you might still be playing in some events tomorrow, but let me know how your pulls have been and also how you've done as far as your record. Love to hear that stuff, but until next time, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon and have a great day.